Mindset shift number 1. See aging as a season of growth, not decline. 1.1 Why society gets aging all wrong. If you turn on the TV, scroll through social media, or even walk through the mall, it can feel like society is obsessed with youth. Creams to erase wrinkles, products to cover gray hair, ads shouting, "Stay young forever." It's almost as if aging were some kind of failure. But that's not the truth. That's marketing. The truth is, aging is natural, beautiful, and powerful. Every stage of life has its own gifts. Childhood gives us wonder. Young adulthood gives us ambition. And midlife and later years? They give us wisdom, acceptance, resilience, and a deeper understanding of what really matters. Our culture is slowly beginning to wake up to this. There's a growing movement that says, hey, getting older is not about loss, it's about growth, richness, and joy. You, my dear friend, are not broken because you have more candles on your birthday cake. You are becoming more complete. 1.2 The power of perspective. What you focus on grows. Have you ever noticed that two people can go through the exact same situation and have completely different experiences? One person retires and feels lost and depressed. Another person retires and feels liberated and excited. The difference? Perspective. If you see aging only as loss of youth, health, opportunities, then yes, aging will feel like a slow, sad decline. But if you see aging as gaining freedom, gaining clarity, gaining time to pursue passions, aging will feel like a blessing. What you focus on grows. Focus on what you still can do, what you can still become, and watch your life expand. 1.3 Real-life example, Betty's story. Let me tell you about Betty. Betty was 72 when she decided to take up photography. Before that, she had spent her life working hard, raising a family, and putting others first. One day, after a walk in the park, she noticed the way the sunlight hit the autumn leaves. She thought, I wish I could capture that. So she bought a simple camera and started learning. At first she worried, I'm too old for this. I don't even know how to use a computer properly. But she pushed through the doubt. Within 2 years, Betty's photographs were being displayed in local galleries. She even taught a photography class at the community center, inspiring other seniors to find their creative spark. Betty's story is a beautiful reminder. It's never too late to grow, create, and contribute. 1.4 How to practice the growth mindset daily. Here are 3 simple ways to live with a growth mindset every day. Start something new. Learn a language, pick up painting, join a book club. New experiences build new neurons and keep your brain young. Celebrate your wisdom. Write down life lessons you've learned. Share your stories with younger generations. You have so much to give. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Instead of thinking, I can't do this anymore, ask, what can I do differently now? Mindset shift number 2. Understand that purpose doesn't retire. 2.1 The dangerous myth of being done. One of the most dangerous lies we are told about aging is that after a certain point we are done. Done learning. Done contributing. Done dreaming. Society often celebrates youth as the time of potential and paints old age as a time of decline. But this couldn't be further from the truth. You are not done, you are becoming. In fact, many people finally find their truest, most meaningful purpose after midlife, when the noise of external expectations fades and the voice of the heart grows louder. Purpose doesn't retire when your career ends. Purpose doesn't retire when your kids leave home. Purpose doesn't retire when you turn 60, 70, or even 90. Purpose is a flame inside you, not a position or a paycheck. 2.2 Why purpose is the fountain of youth. Did you know that having a strong sense of purpose can literally extend your life? Research shows that people who feel they have a purpose live longer, healthier, and happier lives. Purpose is linked to lower rates of heart disease, better cognitive function, a reduced risk of depression, a greater resilience during difficult times. Purpose acts like a North Star. It gives meaning to your days. It motivates you to take care of yourself. It fills you with energy to get out of bed, to keep moving, to keep loving, to keep serving. Without purpose, even a physically healthy person can feel lost and adrift. With purpose, even a person facing health challenges can live vibrantly. 2.3 Real-life example, Frank's story. Frank was a retired engineer in his late 60s when his wife passed away. For a while, Frank was lost in grief. He felt like the best part of his life was over. One day at the local library, he overheard a young boy struggling with his math homework. Frank sat down, explained it patiently, and saw the boy's eyes light up with understanding. That moment sparked something inside Frank. He began volunteering at schools, tutoring kids who were struggling with math and science. He didn't just help them with equations, he built their confidence. He showed them they were capable. Frank's later years became filled with joy, friendships, laughter, and meaning, all because he realized, purpose doesn't retire. It transforms. 2.4 How to discover or reignite your purpose. If you're wondering, but what's my purpose now? Don't worry. Purpose isn't some grand, elusive thing. It's found in small, everyday choices. Here's how to reconnect with your sense of purpose. Reflect on your passions. What activities make you lose track of time? What topics make you light up when you talk about them? Think about your life lessons. What have you learned the hard way? Who could benefit from your wisdom? Ask, who needs me? Purpose often shows up when we ask, who can I help? Rather than, what do I want? Stay curious. Sign up for a new class. Try a new hobby. Join a local group. Purpose often finds you when you're moving, exploring, engaging. 2.5 Action Step. Purpose Journal. Start a purpose journal. Every evening, write down a one thing you did today that made you feel useful or connected. A one way you showed kindness or support to someone else. One thing you're curious to explore tomorrow. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge, and you'll realize that you are living with more purpose than you ever imagined. Now that we've talked about seeing aging as growth and recognizing that your purpose never retires, let's move on to the third and final mindset shift. One that will help you stay flexible, vibrant, and joyful through all the seasons of life. Mindset shift number 3. Embrace change instead of resisting it. 3.1 Why change feels harder as we age. When we're young, life is a whirlwind of changes. New schools, new jobs, new homes, new relationships. But as we get older, we often crave stability more. We like our routines, our habits, our familiar comforts. So when unexpected change comes, a health diagnosis, a move, the loss of a loved one, it can feel deeply unsettling. Change reminds us that we're not fully in control. And that can stir up fear, sadness, even anger. But here's the truth. Life is change. And resisting change doesn't stop it from happening, it only makes the journey harder and more painful. 3.2 The beauty of flexibility. Think about the mighty oak tree and the humble reed. When a fierce storm comes, the rigid oak can snap. The flexible reed bends and survives. Flexibility, not strength, is what allows us to weather life's storms. When we embrace change, we stay emotionally supple. We adapt, we grow, we find new sources of joy and meaning even in unfamiliar circumstances. In many ways, aging gracefully is simply about learning to dance with change instead of fighting it. 3.3 Real-life example. Margaret's story. Margaret loved living in her family home where she had raised her children. After her husband passed, the house felt big and lonely. Maintenance became overwhelming. At first, Margaret resisted the idea of moving. This is my home. I can't leave, she thought. But after many heartfelt conversations with her children, she decided to move to a vibrant senior living community. At first it was scary, new people, new routines, a smaller space. But within months, Margaret found a whole new chapter waiting for her. She joined a gardening club. She made new friends. She even met a charming gentleman who shared her love of classic jazz. Margaret's willingness to embrace change opened doors she never imagined. Change didn't end her happiness, it expanded it. 3.4 How to build your change muscles. Here's how to stay flexible and strong as life shifts. Stay open-minded. Try saying yes to invitations or opportunities that stretch you a little beyond your comfort zone. Practice gratitude. Even when circumstances change, there's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from loss to abundance. Talk about it. Don't carry fears or sadness about change alone. Sharing with trusted friends, family, or counselors can lighten the load. Celebrate small victories. Every time you adapt to a new situation, no matter how small, acknowledge your courage. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss the next one. Stay well, stay inspired, and see you next time.